Hey everyone, Sarah here. So I'm here to do another setup in my work bullet journal spread. And for the month of January, I'm focusing on defining success. So in my continuous improvement project and all of my patrons, we are working on really defining success and what that looks like in different areas of our life for January. Before we get into it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and hit the bell if you'd like to be notified on more work bullet journal setups from me. Okay, so this video is all about how I identify goals for work. So along the top, like I said, in January, we're focusing on what success looks like for me and at work. So I thought, okay, well, what does this look like? What does this look like for me? What does this look like for my team? And this is really going to help me identify those work goals that we need to set up on. So if you checked out last week's video, I broke down success project or success at work, and I really wanted to brainstorm what that entailed, what functional areas I had, what it looks like for myself and my team, and that's what led me to this next spread. So when I think about work, I think about what my functional area is responsible for. So I broke it down at a very high level, and that's what the circles are along the top. So the circles are, pre-sales, order entry, order management, and then post-sales. So if I broke those primary functions down into very high-level steps, it comes up with 4. So that's what the circles are along the top. Then within each of those circles or those high-level functions, I broke down the processes that are within each of the areas. So you're going to see me put the processes underneath each of the circles in that, bigger section there. So then after I broke down the processes, I put down a section for goals, cross-functional areas, and then KPIs, so my key performance indicators. And the KPIs are really how I'm going to measure our success or figure out a way to measure our performance in these areas to meet our goals and to quantify how we meet our goals. So here I'm just putting up pre-sales in that first bucket, order management in the second circle, order entry, and then order management in the next circle, and then post-sales. So when I go into the next section, so now I'm going over to pre-sales, and I'm thinking of all of the different processes we do within pre-sales. So that might look like quoting, product recommendations, all of the functions that my team would do, all of the steps that they do on an everyday basis. And then when I look at order entry, I think of the next one. So the processes that we would go through are actually typing in the actual sales order, identifying the component or the product that the customer would need, what the part number is, or what they need to order, handling instructions, and then there's some like terms and account and all that kind of stuff. So I threw those into process. When I look at order management, I think of all the things that come into that. And that could look like, expediting, canceling, changing something on it, updating the order, whatever. So those are some of the processes that we would do within the order management stage. Then I think of post-sales, and what does that look like? That looks like things that, returns or questions or tech support, those kind of things. So those are all the processes that we would do in those in that area of our group. So I write those all down there in the process section. And then I go into identifying what are the cross-functional departments that I work with in those areas, because I really want to be successful and we have to be successful in working with each other as well. So what are the functional areas I work with in each of those phases? So pre-sales might look like the sales department. Order entry might look like, the sales person again. We might have to work with our own like tech support. Order management, we might have to go out to shipping or sourcing, something like that. So those are the functional areas that that our team would work with in that functional area. So this is important because for me to be successful, I also want to be collaborative with other functional areas that are customers of mine or that I'm a customer of. So those are those internal customers. So those are the different functional areas. So I'll go in a bit and I actually add the KPI. So I add a section in there, and if I'm measuring, pre-sales, a KPI or a key performance indicator would be how many times we take a quote and convert it into a sales order, or how many quotes, or what's the dollar value. So KPI for order entry, like how many orders we enter, what the bookings, order management, how many orders are open, those type of things. So those are KPI or key performance indicators that I would identify or assign to each of the functional areas around the top. So that's how I would really start to understand and measure if we're being successful or where we need improvements, those kind of things. So that's what I am adding in now. The next step is goals, and I actually do not put the goals in there because this is a precursor. So I'm putting up the spread together because I have a brainstorming session with my team, and we are going to identify the goals for each of those areas. So I'm leaving that open for right now. But this is really this setup. So if I'm looking at the top and I'm looking at all of the functional areas or the different kind of functions that we do in our commercial operations group, then I drill down and I identify the processes within each of those functional phases, and then understanding the cross-functional groups. Then from there, that's really going to drive my conversation with my team of how to identify goals, or what are the pain points we're facing in those functional themes or areas in our own processes. So these are going to be what establishes my team's goals and also my goals to work on for 2021 at work. Of course, there are a little bit more to this. So, we have our strategic objectives and all that fun stuff. But this is really giving me the foundation of what I can do to improve my area, and then also kind of put them into categories to align with our strategic objectives for our company. And also my manager, because you like to stack your goals so everybody is kind of swimming in the same direction. But this is really how I'm breaking it down to drive a conversation or drive a brainstorming session with my team, so we can actually, really understand what we need to work on, what we need to be better, how we're going to measure it, who's going to drive each of the initiatives. It really is this simple. Like we do a lot of these processes, but there's not a lot of different processes within our functional work group. So, so this is really how I'm breaking it down. And this is, again, it's just really useful because it's getting clear on what we do. It's getting clear on what success looks like for my functional area. It's getting clear on, within these different functional areas, the departments that drive those or the processes that we do in each of those, is really understanding what success looks like for those processes. And from there, I can build out reporting and dashboards and goals, like owners. So this is what is going to drive those SMART goals that we all have to do. So specific, measurable, actionable, I forget what they all are. But anyhow, we all know what those SMART goals that we have to do at work. So this is really driving it. So some of my KPIs that I'm going to measure, that will help me understand if my employees, meet or exceed or exceptionally whatever on their reviews will give me some numbers around that so I can quantify their success and our department's success. So that's all I have. I hope you like this video. Again, we're really focusing on success, and this is laying the foundation for what the rest of 2021 is going to look like for me, for my work team. And we're going to really just break it down and use this as a reference point for the remainder of the year. So I hope you all like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell if you want to be notified for more work bullet journal setups. So thanks everyone. Have a great day. Bye.